record. It's AIWF Ringside Wrestling with Mad Matt Carter. Join Matt and his guests, if any show up, for highlights and news from around the AIWF system. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here I am, Matt Carter. Hey, good evening, wrestling fans. Hope you didn't mind that. Well, if anybody knows the theme song I was using right there, extra bonus points to you. Good evening, wrestling fans. Happy Thursday. You know what that means. It's time for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Good to have you along for the ride. Let's take a look. Let's check our handy-dandy YouTube and make sure our stream's going through for everybody. We'll see here. Let me see. Yep, we are live. All right, awesome. All right, so let's get right into the announcements. We're supposed to have some guests tonight, but I don't know how that's going to work out, but they're supposed to join us. If not, we'll read the announcements. We'll go home early. Anyway, for our advertising inquiries on the AIWF Roku channel, please email us at AIWF20@hotmail.com. We can get you a great deal on advertising on the Roku channel. It's cheap. We got the best deals in wrestling, and we'd certainly love to have you join us. If you haven't seen it yet, Spring Jam 2021 has been added to the AIWF Roku channel, and let me just say, it was beautifully produced. It took a while. A long while, but it was beautifully produced, and I am so glad, and I think all of us at the AIWF are very, very, very proud of that production. And a word to our producer. Look, man, I want to show video highlights on this program from week to week, but I can't if you keep taking the damn videos down. So just a little note there. So leave me some scraps, brother. As we move into the announcements, real quick, just to take a look at Shockwave Wrestling's logo. They had a big show this past Saturday night down in New Bern. I have not got any new information from Shockwave about their upcoming events, but we'll certainly stay tuned. But I always love to give them a shout out because of Shockwave Wrestling, I discovered the beautiful city of New Bern, North Carolina, and I absolutely have fallen in love with the place and love to get down there anytime that I can. I'm going to tell you, when we were down there, I think it was our first time down there, maybe. Or maybe it was the second time. I think it was the second time we went down there. We went down there for a Shockwave event the first time, my wife and I. And the second time we went down there, it was during the harvest moon. I shared a picture on my Facebook of the harvest moon rising over the Neuse River that night, and it was just absolutely breathtaking. I cannot encourage you enough to visit New Bern. New Bern got a lot of historical buildings down there. They were the first capital of the state of North Carolina, birthplace of Pepsi Cola, and actually New Bern fell to the Federal Army in 1862. Near the beginning of the Civil War. So if you weren't crazy about the war and didn't want to be a Confederate, you could have ridden it out in New Bern safely, as it was under Union control for most of the war. So just a little historical note there. And they got a great history museum down there too. All right, let's talk about wrestling. Custom Creations presents WDWA Pro Wrestling. What does that stand for? Well, if you look at the bottom of your screen, it stands for World Domination Wrestling Alliance, and that they are. They've got a fantastic show coming up. What is it? This weekend, this Saturday night at Custom Creations. Bell time is 6 p.m. for that one. The address 605B Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Bell time 6 p.m. Doors open at 5. All seats are $15. You can visit their Facebook site if you like at WDWA Wrestling, or you can give them a call. How old-fashioned is this? And great that you can actually pick up the phone and talk to somebody about the wrestling. 681-247-2460 for more information about the big event coming to Martinsburg this Saturday night. Also, Hard Knocks, our friends at Platinum Pro Wrestling down in Florida, in Oakland Park, Florida. present Hard Knocks, the Rusty Brooks Memorial Show. That's this Saturday night, bell time 7:45. You can see the ticket prices there. General admission $20, VIP $45. The VIP includes a meet and greet autograph session plus a poster and priority seating. Ticket Leap is got your tickets there. And you can find out more information by visiting them on Facebook and Instagram at Platinum Pro Wrestling or on YouTube at PPW Florida. Here we go. Match lineup for this big event in Oakland Park. The address 3488 North Andrews Avenue at America's Got Soccer. Diamonds Division Championship on the line as Hemper Cato defends against Chrissy Vane. That's coming up this Saturday night. Also on the card for the Silverweight Championship, it's a triple threat match. Leo Knox, the champion, defends against Ricky Martinez and former WWE superstar Leo Rush. Also that night, the Platinum triple threat match. CJ O'Doyle with Fabulous Frank takes on AJ Jazano. Hope I'm saying that right. Janazo, I will go with Janazo. And Ernest R. Alexander III for the Platinum weight triple threat match. Also, in the co-main event, the Starlight Championship is on the line in a triple threat match as Savannah Evans defends against Kelsey Lynn and Kelsey Reagan. So two Kelseys going after the championship. Who'll win? Kelsey, or Savannah? You got to go down there and find out. Also, Diamonds Division Showcase match is Chelsea Durden takes on Sahara 7. And moving back to my home base, coming up 4th of July weekend on Saturday night, July 30th, AIWF Mid-Atlantic returns to Veterans Park. Doors open at 6:30, bell time 7:30 p.m. And we'd like to, of course, remind you guys, King's Hot Dogs has been a great sponsor with us over the years. And we certainly thank them for all their support. We saw a great write-up about good hot dogs across the state in Our State magazine this month that talked about Smithfield Barbecue's hot dogs and how great they were, but didn't have a mention of King's Hot Dogs. I don't understand that. The AAA magazine guy had a piece on them a couple of months ago, but nothing from Our State. So hit them up on Twitter, everybody, and let them know they need to go try King Dog. Big event coming up in Mount Airy. Yes, the first round of the Carson Memorial Tournament will come to a close as the Bad Men take on the Pineapple Express. That match takes place on July 3rd. And as you can see, all the other teams have been set for the semifinals. And I have it on good authority from the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship Committee. The Pink Gang, yes, is going to defend their titles through the end of the tournament. So every match they're in, not only are they in the semis against Josh Strong and Nate Diamond, which is a team called Diamond Intensity, they will be going for the tag team titles in that match as well. And whoever wins between Pro Wrestling's DNA, who advanced this past Saturday night at Extreme Content, well, they'll go against the Bad Men or the Pineapple Express. Also in the semis, but all the semis and the finals take place on July 17th. That's on a Saturday night. So, but we got to get to that first. And of course, top right of your screen there, as you can see, Bad Men against the Pineapple Express coming up this July 4th weekend here in just another couple of weeks. We'll be back up in Mount Airy. Can't wait to get that. And what a great way to honor our late great friend, Dangerous Don Carson, who I'm sure is looking down now, especially on me with disappointment and disapproval. No, I'm just kidding. You know, believe it or not, Don Carson, actually, my first day in the business, took what they call smartening me up and teach me all kinds of stuff that I'm not going to go into the weeds here because we try to keep things as old school and as sports-based presentation as we can. But Don did a whole lot to educate me and help keep me grounded when I was a young, brash announcer. He couldn't stop me from being a dick, which comes naturally. But I've gotten over that the last few years. So anyway, also on the card that night, we've got the Mid-Atlantic Championship matchup going down. And it's going to be Benny Conley challenging Ty Tyson for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship. That goes down. Oh man, this is a big moment for Benny Conley. I talked to him, I'd say probably 2-3 weeks ago on our Facebook Live deal that we do before the show starts, and he was talking about how he's come to the Mid-Atlantic looking for championships. Well, he gets his crack at Ty Tyson coming up on July 3rd. Good luck, my friend. Also, this is exciting. The girls are going to return. Remember Casey Fox and Ella Envy from Spring Jam? Well, they're going to be back in mixed tag team action. Casey Fox is going to be teaming up with Johnny Ryder, and Ella Envy going to be teaming up with Caden Pierre. Now, this is not one of those deals where, anybody can fight anybody. We don't have guys beating up girls or any of that stuff. This is a mixed tag team match, and if you're unclear on the rules, girls wrestle girls, guys wrestle guys. That's the way it works. So if one person tags out, the other team has to tag out too. Certainly makes for some interesting happenings. That's for certain. All right. Big event for our friends down in Melbourne, Florida. It's the Star Spangled Slammer. And that's coming up for Atomic Revolution Wrestling. Coming up this July 9th, I'm sorry, as the Melbourne Street Fight is going to be for the ARW Next Level Championship. As Eric Redbeard, you probably recognize him from WWE as Eric Rowan of the Wyatt family. He is the champion. He is going to take on Zach Monstar, the challenger. And that takes place at the Conference Center at the Holiday Inn, 8298 North Wickham Road in Melbourne, Florida. Tickets available on Eventbrite. It's sponsored by the Dugout Sporting Goods. VIP doors at 5:30, general admission doors at 6, and the show gets underway at 6:30 p.m. And I can hear you sniffing. It's called a mute button, my friend. Star Spangled Slammer is also going to be a Fight TV taping, and it'll be available on Fight on Saturday, July 17th for only $10. And you can see former WWE superstar Matt Cardona and Brian Myers going to be at that as well. So we certainly encourage you, or if you're in the Melbourne, Florida area, get your tickets now. It's going to be very exciting. All right, wrestling fans, good to have you along. Let's see here. I was expecting referee Reggie Cassidy, but I do not see him. I do see Smiling Diamond Dave here. And I do see, I believe, referee, is that referee Timmy there? Go ahead and speak up, guys.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, Smiling Diamond Dave. Timothy Stone. Are you referee Timmy?
Yes.
All right, good to have you along, my friend. I've got some questions to ask you that we're going to be getting through here. So let me just go ahead and mute you there for a second. Smiling Diamond Dave, I'm glad you're here. Reggie Cassidy was scheduled to join us, but he said he was going to be here. I have not seen him yet. Of course, for those of you who don't know, here comes Reggie right now. Perfect timing. Just wait a second, Dave. We'll get to him in a second as soon as Reggie comes online. But I wanted to talk to Reggie because there's a lot of goings on in the AIWF this past Saturday night. As far as Reggie is concerned. Reggie, can you hear me? Reggie, are you there? Let me see if we can unmute Reggie. All right, Reggie, you should be unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, Reggie, welcome. Looks like you're joining us from the front porch. Glad to have you along. I want to let you know that also on the line with us is referee Timmy from Timmy Stone, and Smiling Diamond Dave is here with us as well. So let's just get right into it, Reggie. You were fired this past Saturday night by Sexy Kavina after you refused to take his orders in that match. So kind of walk us through what happened from your perspective in that match.
Well, it was obvious that there was some shady dealings going on, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yes, I was fired Saturday night. I refuse to, according to the head ref, I refuse to wear his pink outfit or be represented in pink some way or somehow. The rest of the refs did it. I refused. I knew that there was a chance, of course, I could lose my job, just like with any other job. You refuse to do something, you're subject to termination.
Mm-hmm. So I know, referee Timmy, you wore the pink during your match. So talk us through that a little bit, Timmy, since you're here with us. How were you approached by Sexy Kavina? I mean, did he pretty much tell you that if you didn't wear the pink, you were going to be fired like Reggie?
This is a hillbilly ref. I wore it so I wouldn't lose my job at the time, but I ain't wearing it, putting up with his crap no more.
But now, come on, hillbilly ref, you had a pink wig on during the barroom brawl. I saw that.
Yeah, but I won't put up with his shenanigans no more.
Wow. Okay, Smiling Diamond Dave, it sounds like we might have a referee strike brewing here.
Well, you know, let Hillbilly Tim refuse to do what the man in charge says, and he can join Reggie Cassidy in the unemployment line, sitting on the front porch in a rocker.
Wow. Okay. So there you have it, gentlemen. Now, Reggie, kind of walk us through what happened in your match. I mean, you refused to wear pink, but it looked like to me, and I can't remember, were you the referee of the Drew Hood Dirty Joe match, or which match was it that you did? I can't remember.
I did the barroom brawl with Jamal the Titan and Cam Jackson.
Okay.
And the Don Carson Memorial match.
Okay, and now you got fired after the barroom brawl. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Now it looked like to me sitting at ringside that Sexy Kavina was trying to give you orders, like, to fast count Cam Jackson is what it looked like to me. But I mean, you were in the ring. I was just sitting at ringside. You're gonna have to tell me what happened from your perspective.
Well, from my perspective, number one, it appeared to me that Sexy Kavina was grading my match. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, like I said before, that the dress code violation, you're subject to termination. And as Smiling Diamond Dave said, we can go stand at the unemployment line. But I try my best to do my job as fair as possible without any bribery, Smiling Diamond Dave. And
I'm not bribing nobody.
Well, we all know that you attempted it. Well, it's almost been a year now, but of course I refuse to take your bribe. But
who took that bribe when they was sitting in the crowd at ringside? Who took that bribe out of my hand?
He's got you there, Reggie. I saw that.
Of course, I accepted the money. But
okay, stop right there. No, stop right there. You accepted my offer and stuck it in your pocket. So how am I wrong when you accepted it?
I accepted it, and also at the ending of that match, that money went home with your henchman, one of the bad men, Daniel Halen, because I refused to call the match unfair.
Well, I ain't never seen you call a match fair yet. I give specific orders that all referees on the last show needed to pay tribute to Sexy Kavina and wear pink.
Yeah,
that's not too much to ask. What if I say, when I come back and my suspension's over, I say, I think all the referees need to show tribute to me and wear black and purple. Are you going to, well, you're fired. You can't do that. Are they going to refuse to wear black and purple?
That's up to the rest of them. As somebody just said, I was fired, so that doesn't apply to me.
Well, let me ask you this, Dave. Maybe there was some confusion because, I mean, you are under suspension right now, but I mean, you still seem to be pulling a lot of strings. This is an odd suspension. It's like, I don't know. It's like paid administrative leave. You know, you're not here. You're not having to come to work, but nothing's really changed. You know, that's the way it seems to me. You know.
Well,
he is pulling a lot of strings and setting being on suspension.
well, you know, when you're a man and a talent of my caliber, and you are as well known throughout not only North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, it don't matter. You're known as well as I am, and you're the caliber of person that I am. People have respect for you.
Mhm.
And I was told that even though I was under suspension, who I could put in charge in my absence,
Mhm.
since that so-called co-commissioner, Kevin Phoenix, some co-commissioner, you got to be co-commissioner when you're at the shows. And he ain't showed up since he took it.
No,
So-
he's disappeared. And I understand he's going to be going to Vegas for a week coming up pretty soon. So,
Well, I hope he goes to Vegas and stays. Go out there to one of them bunny ranches or something. That's where he belongs.
oh, good Lord.
But
I personally don't care where he goes. He needs to answer his phone, though.
Try getting that mental image out of your head. Much like that visible image we've got on screen of Reggie Cassidy's pants right now. You realize your camera's on, right?
Is it?
Yeah, you could look at it. He just turned it off. I was gonna say you could. This is a video show, guys. You can turn on your video and talk to us.
you know what he's doing, don't you, Matt?
It looked like he was sitting on the front porch.
Yeah, but when I said they ought to pay tribute to the commissioner,
better?
Smiling
Matt,
Diamond Dave, he's showing that he's already paying tribute. He's wearing black.
Well, he's missing
And
the purple though. It looked like zebra pants. Do you see him?
He keeps messing with Kavina. He's going to have purple. It's going to be around that eye up there, and he's going to have black and purple.
And that could very well happen. But like I said, when I left last Saturday, this ain't open by a long shot.
I've never seen, and Reggie, you know, you're not the biggest guy in the world. You're definitely not the size of a wrestler, but it took like 4 security guards to hold you back from Kavina. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that mad, especially a referee, in a long, long time, if ever. And the crowd was certainly upset too. And that all came to a head at the end of the night when one of the fans went after Kavina. So, but it was completely nuts this past Saturday night. And something that I wanted to address with the fans, a little confusion that happened. During the Nate Diamond Ty Tyson match, there was a little bit of confusion. Now, we did advertise this as an unsanctioned match, and that it was a great match, really competitive. Nate Diamond came out on top. Hopefully, we'll have the video of that for you at some point in the next few weeks. But what had happened is in all the craziness and everything, one of the referees brought the Mid-Atlantic Championship belt down to ringside and set it on the ringside table where I sit and Darren sits. Now, I knew in my mind this was an unsanctioned match, but for some reason, while I was all involved in the chaos and everything, and I saw the belt laying there, when Nate Diamond won, and as crazy as it was, I made a mistake and announced him as new AIWF Mid-Atlantic champion. That is completely on me. I got caught up in the moment. Sexy Kavina reminded me that the match was unsanctioned and it was not for the title, which is the correct call. Like I said, this is on me. That one's not on Kavina. Nate Diamond won the match fair and square, sure enough, but the title was not on the line because the match was unsanctioned. And so when I announced that to the crowd, everybody went absolutely crazy. So I need to apologize to the fans for that, and that the title was not on the line in that match. but it was so exciting and chaotic. I just got caught up in the moment, and it's not the first mistake I've ever made. Probably won't be the last, guys.
Well, Matt, let me ask you something. You remember on last week's show when I was arguing with the Pink Flamingo that I said before I got suspended, I had the deciding vote to either sanction this match or make it a non-sanctioned match.
Mhm.
And I said I made it a non-sanctioned match.
Yeah.
I knew, but Nate was too stupid. I knew the title could not change hands in a non-sanctioned match. That's why I voted for a non-sanctioned match against Ty Tyson, because any dog can have a lucky day. And at the last show, that was Nate's lucky day. But guess what? He still come out a loser.
All right. Well, I mean, it will go in the books, even though the match was unsanctioned, it will go in the books as a victory for Nate Diamond. But again, he did not win the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship in that. So we had the barroom brawl that we've talked about. We had a 6-man tornado match. It was one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my life. It was a fantastic match. And one of the things that I liked about that was when I got to the card, I keep the cards as souvenirs. When I got to this match on the card, I told the audience, I said, "Oh boy, this is what I've been waiting for." And I said, "The following contest is a 6-man tornado match." And I saw this guy at ringside about the third row. He was looking right at me. And when I said that, he did like this. He was like, yes. He was so stoked for that match. And I'm telling you, it turned out to be an 8-man tag team match. Smiling Diamond Dave, I know you weren't there, and Reggie, you had been thrown out the door, but Hillbilly Referee, you were there. That was, God, man, I have been around wrestling a long time. That was a wild brawl. I'm telling you.
I got to watch a match. You'd be surprised at what all I got to see sitting at home beside my swimming pool.
Oh, is that right? Okay, so you did get to see it. All right. I mean, your thoughts on that, Dave? I'm telling you, it took me back to the 90s. I mean, it was wild.
It was a wild, unchained match. I'm partial. Everybody knows that, but I give credit where credit's due. Mickey Full, Kevin Stryker, Benny Conley, they all.
Don't forget about Matt Anderson. He was on that team too.
Matt Anderson. That's it. Matt Anderson. He done stuff that
Mick Cooper at the 70.
that I've never seen Matt do. Kudos to Matt. But that was a tough foursome.
Yeah.
Really it was 3.5. You had Kevin Stryker. He's he needs to be sitting. He don't even need to be sitting ringside. He needs to be sitting at the very top of the bleachers up there by himself, because that's where he belongs. So it was 3.5 against 4, so Mickey and them had the disadvantage. But the match was unhinged. I watched it all.
Yeah.
And it was, like you said, it brought back memories of the 90s when people really just didn't care. We went in there and we threw all rules aside and tore it down.
Well, that's one thing I love about extreme content, is it does give us a chance to kind of throw back to the hardcore days of the 90s and that kind of stuff. It kind of reminded me, one thing that always kind of scares me about extreme content is that the first one, it took place in Stewart, Virginia, was featured Terminator X against Brian Danzig in a no ropes barbed wire match. And they had both of them wrap their arms from their wrists to their elbows in barbed wire. And it only lasted 4 minutes. I mean, Terminator X got his throat cut and had to go to the hospital and almost died as a result of that match. And what was funny is I kind of joked about that a little bit. If you guys didn't know, AIWF Hall of Famer Brian Danzig was in the crowd again this past Saturday night. And I looked at him and I didn't formally introduce him to the crowd because he's never been one to crave the spotlight. So I don't want to embarrass him because he is a pretty humble guy outside the ring. But I looked at him and I was like, you were in that main event like that? And he nodded, yeah. And I said, do you remember how well that went? Like that? And he just smiled and nodded, jokingly, because it went horribly. And I'm always creeped out. And I always remember that when we come around to extreme content. But every year since that horrible beginning, it has really turned out to be a showcase every year and a great show for those of you who like extreme, no DQ, no rules, lots of gimmicks, lots of stipulations, if you would. It's your kind of show, and we only do it once a year. It's kind of a throwback. We only do it once a year, and I think it has its place. Now, it's not death match wrestling. You're not going to see anybody take a weed eater to somebody's, private parts or anything like that at Extreme Content. It's not anything like that. But if you like the old 90s hardcore ECW type style, that is definitely once a year your show. And I wish more people could have been out there to see it. We had a great crowd, but I think the weather being so warm played a lot into that. Dave, it may have been a good one for you to miss because it was hot that night.
Oh yeah, it was. Veterans Park. When you wrestle in the summertime and you've got to wrestle in the building, I've done it as a wrestler. I've been there as the commissioner. I've been there as a fan, scoping out things, and it will take a toll on your body as a wrestler inside with all that heat coming from that tin building. And my hat's off to all the guys for the show they put on, endured the heat, and they give 110%. Like I said, what I chose to watch was a great show, and I can do that. I can choose what I watch.
Mm-hmm.
I had a live camera sitting at ringside, and I seen everything. And it was great, especially to see Hillbilly Tim dressed in pink out there. He looked so pretty.
I think Tim dropped off. He was having troubles keeping him. I was getting a little too much background noise from him, so I had to keep muting him, and I think he dropped off. But I do see Juliana has joined us, and she is the fan that went after Sexy Kavina.
That's Bulldog.
Yeah, she's here.
And I told her on social media I made a comment. She wanted to comment and kept harassing me. I told her, I said, that's all right. I'm not Sexy Kavina. When I come back, I will put a muzzle on that Bulldog. She'll know to keep her mouth shut.
Well, she may have actually prevented a riot because, the funny thing was again, I'm taking ownership of this. It was my mistake to announce that Nate Diamond was the new champion. But when Kavina reminded me that, no, this is unsanctioned, it's not for the title, I told the crowd, he's right. This is not for the title. That's when she snapped and came after him. And I'm telling you, I think the whole crowd was going to come after both of us. But that happened, and it kind of broke the tension because they're like, oh, okay, well, somebody else is going to handle this. And security got her out of there, and it kind of just stopped everybody in their tracks. So in a way, I'm grateful to her for doing that because I don't know if we would have – I know Sexy Kavina wasn't going to get out of there without getting beat up, but I don't know if I would have made it out of there either because I was just – sometimes the messenger gets killed. So,
yeah. Matt, what I like about it, I wasn't even there. And look at the chaos I caused by my deciding vote to making it unsanctioned match. Nate might have won the battle, but my beast, Ty Tyson, won the war. He still come out champion.
Yeah.
And, but look at the chaos that started. And I wasn't even there. I was sitting at home drinking a Bud Light, watching it, and look at the chaos that I caused and wasn't even there because of the ruling I passed down as Sexy Covina being in charge in my absence.
Now, Dave, we're taking a look on the screen. If you can see here at our poster for July 4th weekend, Saturday night, July 3rd, are you going to be off suspension and back with us at that show?
Well, I'm not at liberty to answer that right now, Matt.
Oh, Lord.
Not being short, not being ugly. I'm not at liberty to answer that. It's the only thing I can tell anybody that's watching, the fans or anybody, is be there July the 3rd and find out.
Yeah, it's going to be a rocket buster on July 3rd. And Reggie Cassidy, let me ask you, you've been fired now. What are your plans going forward? Are you going to approach Commissioner Rick Diesel? Or are you planning to reach out to Co-Commissioner Kevin Phoenix? What's your next step in this process? Because I really don't think we've seen the last of Mr. 123.
No, Matt Carter, you're right. You ain't seen the last of me. And I've attempted numerous times this week to reach out to Kevin Phoenix, and no response. Of course, we all know how shady and crooked the commissioner is. So we know that he's not going to attempt to rehire me.
Hey, Reggie, your audio is terrible, brother. You sound like you're underwater or in a hog pen or something. So you might want to check that or check your settings and try again.
All right, give me just a second.
All right, I don't know. All right, Reggie muted himself. Okay, so let's give him a second. All right, Smiling Diamond Dave. He says he hadn't seen the last of. We hadn't seen the last of Mr. 123. And Reggie, are you back with us?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
He'll sound like a robot.
Yeah, he does. But I'm gonna let him go ahead because I think he might have to log out and reconnect to fix this. But go ahead, Reggie. Finish your thought, please.
Well, Smiling Diamond Dave's never going to rule in my favor. So of course we know that. I have been trying to contact Kevin Phoenix for ever since Saturday night. No response. So there's more people to contact. If I don't get an answer from Kevin Phoenix by the weekend, I will be reaching out to Rick Diesel, whoever I need to reach out to. Because as everybody knows, AIWF Mid-Atlantic's my home. That's where I started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the reason, as both of you guys know, the reason we do this stuff is those fans in the crowd. So I'm not giving up without a fight.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Reggie. Your audio still sounds pretty bad, so you may want to log out and try logging back in. As I tell my people at my shoot job, clear your cookies and cache. Try restarting the device. Okay, Smiling Diamond Dave, you heard that. He's talking about going directly to Commissioner Rick Diesel, which I never think is a good idea, to get him involved in this type of ruling or situation. He steps in when necessary and makes rulings when he has to, but to actually go to him, I don't know if I'd do that.
Well, you're right, Matt. Rick Diesel, with him, I call him the big commissioner because he's over all the affiliates of the AIWF. He's over AIWF. I call it AIWF Worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And I know exactly what he's going to tell Reggie Cassidy. Go talk to Commissioner Smiling Diamond Dave and Co-Commissioner Kevin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. He's going to send him right back down to his direct supervisor, so to speak, in a way.
And, like I said, I don't see how anybody can call Kevin Phoenix a co-commissioner because you've actually got to show up to be a co-commissioner. And that's something he ain't done. Nobody's heard nothing from him. He hasn't showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that his right to being co-commissioner or to be terminated.
Mm-hmm.
because I've been there every show up until I got supposedly suspended. And Kevin Phoenix thinks he can come and go when he pleases and not show up and not answer people's phone calls and not do this and do that. That ain't no commissioner.
Mhm.
He don't deserve the title as co-commissioner because he's not doing the job.
Yeah, he's definitely not coming to work, which is problematic. I will agree with you there. Let me real quick just say hey to the people that have joined us, and if you guys want to jump in a conversation or want to say something to Smiling Diamond Dave or Mr. 123 Reggie Cassidy, I see Ben in here. I see Juliana Stone is here. We all know who that is. I see Mackenzie Armstrong. Hey, Mackenzie, and I also see Michelle. So if one of you guys wants to jump in and ask a question, you feel go ahead and just butt right on in. We're real informal around here. But I'm glad you're here, and thank you for joining us on Zoom. So this is a show for the fans. So you guys want to participate? Please let us know. Let's see here. What is this? Oh, okay. There's got somebody in the chat.
Mute the bulldog.
I don't think she's unmuted. She's muted right now. Mackenzie says in the chat. Mackenzie says in the chat, bring Mr. 123 back. So there you have it from one of the fans, Commissioner Dave. You guys can probably see the chat too. If you just go up to your controls and click on the chat. But yeah, Mackenzie wants to see Reggie come back. Dave, if he gets enough fan support, would you be willing to give us a second look?
Well, I tell you what, Matt, up until he disobeyed orders from Sexy Cavina at the last show, like I said earlier, I give kudos where kudos are deserved. Reggie's been a good employee. Reggie's been a good referee. He's hard-headed. He thinks he can do things his way. And I think Saturday night proved that you just don't do that in AIWF Mid-Atlantic.
Right.
Right. So.
And how did Cavina know that he didn't have Pink where Pink couldn't be seen?
Oh, well, there's the Bulldog chiming in, Dave. There you go.
Put the muzzle back on her and mute her back out.
Well, I don't want to run her off. She did just ask you a question. She said, how did Cavina didn't know he wasn't wearing pink somewhere where he couldn't see it?
Well, the point is not everybody's as perverted as she is. So, just because her husband wears pink thongs and she brags about it because she buys them for him, that don't mean everybody does.
Well, it might be.
Hey, now watch it, Commissioner.
Sugar Britches. Mackenzie says Sugar Britches shouldn't have a say in anything. That's what she says in the chat.
Amen, sister.
Well, I can promise y'all this: there was nothing on me pink.
Nothing. Okay. All right. I mean, look, Reggie. I mean, if you're into wearing women's underwear for a comfort thing, that's totally up to you. There's no judgment here. I don't want to know about it, but I don't care.
And Reggie, you can't say nothing bad about me because I just took up for you.
He did.
I heard you perfectly well. I'm not saying that you didn't.
But like I said, not everybody's as perverted as the Bulldog is. Just because Hillbilly Tim might wear pink thongs or his wife's pink underwear.
Everybody's got a pink thong.
Well,
everybody's got a pink thong.
No, I can tell you this much: if Tim does wear them, I don't want to know about it.
No, sir. No, sir. That makes three of us. Because number one, that's an awful big pink thong, and I just don't want to picture that.
And I'm a boxers type of guy anyway. I need room. The thongs are too tight for me, just so everybody knows. Good luck getting that picture out of your head later tonight. Mackenzie says, when the saying came along that real men wear pink, they weren't thinking about Cavina because I don't think he's a man.
Well, I mean, I have to agree, but
Hillbilly referee, I gotta mute you, brother, because you got too much background noise going on in there. Okay, go ahead, Reggie.
I will have to agree with Mackenzie on that.
Matt, you remember back in the day, me and Don, I always wore pink shirts, the gold pinky rings, the gold earrings.
Mhm.
I was the pretty boy of the TVA. Don was the beast.
Jesus Christ.
And anybody that has watched the TVA know that Dangerous Don Carson was the beast. He was the suplex machine, if you may say. He was the power of the TVA. And I was the pretty boy. I was the smiler. That's why they call me Smiling Diamond Dave. I wore pink and I'd still wear it today because guess what? Not only am I a man, I am the man.
Yeah, I used to wear pink when I was thinner, but now that I've gotten fat and old, I don't think it looks so good on me anymore. But speaking of Don Carson, as you can see on your screen, we're taking a look at the updated bracket as Pro Wrestling's DNA advanced to the semifinals coming up on July 17th. This past Saturday night, Extreme Content. Coming up on July 3rd, Smiling Diamond Dave, the Bad Men, going against the Pineapple Express. This is actually a rematch from one that happened a few weeks ago, and the Bad Men came out on top. Is there any reason to think that the result is going to be any different coming up on July 3rd?
No, I don't think Pineapple Express, excuse my expression, they're probably going to be too busy eating the snacks that they pass out and stuff. So I look for the Bad Men to come out on top. And you talking about one hell of a match between the Bad Men and DNA.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Katie barred the door.
Yeah, I mean, Pineapple Express might get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who my vote goes for. So I just, I'm proud to be able to be a part of this because everybody knows that me and Don was tag team partners for 28 years or better. And it went beyond being tag team partners. We was brothers and things. So everybody knew how close me and Don was. And it makes me proud to sit here and look at this poster, if you will, or this image on the screen of my brother, my tag team partner in the TVA purple and black. That means that everybody knows that this is going to be an awesome tournament because of the violent picture that's standing there.
Right. And yeah, it's a great tribute. And we certainly all miss Don. I know you do, Dave, more than the rest of us. But I was talking earlier before you came on about my first night in wrestling, how Don started to quote smarten me up. I mean, as soon as we met, and I got on his good side because we went over to his house to pick him up to bring him to the show. And he asked me if I was hungry. And I, Southerner brought up to always, no, sir, I'm good. Thank you. He goes, don't give me that polite crap. I know you're hungry. What do you want? Ham and cheese or peanut butter and jelly? I said, peanut butter and jelly would be fine. Like that. And I was over with him immediately because I didn't eat any meat and cheese up in his house. I asked for peanut butter and jelly, and I got along with Don great after that. Now, when he was in wrestling mode, and he had his mind on competition, I stayed away from him because they didn't call him Dangerous Don Carson for no reason. The man was dangerous,
Yes.
And he was dead serious about this sport. And anybody that put the mouth on wrestling around him was asking for big trouble. Yep. Because you're gonna lose a tooth messing with Don Carson. But this tournament being named after him is just a fantastic thing. And one of the things that I think is just fantastic in this tournament, whether or not you like them or not, the Pink Gang is defending the tag team titles all the way through the tournament. Now, you talk about fighting champions. They were not required to do this.
Yep.
But they said, Pretty Boy Lane and Kent Wolf, you may not like them, but they prance around in pink, and we joke about the pink trap house. And all that kind of stuff. And but they are rough and they are tough and they mean business. They are serious about holding on to those tag team titles and will stop at nothing to do it. And they said, hey, we'll defend the title all the way through the tournament. I have not seen anything like this. The only thing I can kind of compare it to that it reminds me of slightly was during the Bash 86 when they made Flair defend the title like 17 times in 30 days. But he was forced into that. The Pink Gang volunteered to do this. Yep. So I got to give them mad props for that. That's just great. Also, let's see in the chat. I think Mackenzie also wrote, Reggie Cassidy should never have gotten fired for expressing his opinion. He shouldn't have to be forced to wear something just to, quote, fit in, unquote, with sugar britches. And then Ben wrote,
amen.
Ben wrote, I think you need to get a hold of the retirement home for Kavina. Well, that thing's way out there in Knoxville. So I don't even know if I can, I mean, I've got long distance, but anyway. So let's move on with the posters a little bit more, guys, because we got about 8 minutes to go, and I want to try to blast through this. Of course, Benny Conley getting his crack at the Mid-Atlantic Championship, July 3rd, Smiling Diamond Day. No stipulations on this match. I hadn't heard anything about no DQ or, a cage match or anything. This is just going to be a straight wrestling match.
And it's in my opinion, it's going to be one of Ty's toughest matches yet as champion, because Benny Conley is a top talent, a very talented young man. And this is going to be a tough match. This ain't going to be just a lay down match like Nate Diamond or anything like that.
Oh my God.
Ty Tyson.
Oh, whoa, Commissioner. Whoa.
It's going to be a tough match for Ty with Benny Conley.
Go ahead, Juliana. Speak your piece. I know you want to say something right here. Juliana.
And where does the sexy Kavina is like changing presidents during a war? Why the heck can he change a decision like he did?
Well, he didn't change the decision in the Ty Tyson match, Juliana. That was my fault. The match was unsanctioned, and I announced Nate Diamond as the new champion, and that was not correct. He did win the match, but because it was unsanctioned, the title cannot be on the line during an unsanctioned match. So by the letter of the law, he was right. It was just I got caught up in the excitement, and I made that announcement, and I apologize 1,000 times over to all the fans there. I just got caught up in the moment.
Forgiven.
But Dave, you were talking about Benny Conley. He is an incredible talent, and I got to give credit to Ty Tyson where it's due now. I may not 100% agree with the attitude change that he's gone through, but by God, he is a fighting champion. He didn't have the title on the line with Nate Diamond, but that was the first match he'd had since he won the title the first time that he hadn't put it on the line. So,
well, Matt, I told you that, and I told everybody, I don't have to teach Ty how to be a beast. He was a beast before. And I just give him some pointers on being violent. I just give him some pointers how to afflict a little bit more pain. I ain't taught him nothing. He was already a beast. And the only thing I can tell Benny Conley is, you better strap your boots up tight. And you better have your trunks tied up tight, because Ty's going to rip through him like a Texas tornado.
Well, Oak Hill, West Virginia, get ready. Your hometown boy is going for the big championship coming up on July 3rd. Mackenzie just added in the chat, that match should have been between Nate Diamond and Benny Conley because Ty cheated with his puppet master, Smiling Diamond Dave. Wow. She is not a fan of yours, sir.
How can she say Ty cheated when it was an unsanctioned match? And if you know anything at all about wrestling, you know that a title cannot change hands in an unsanctioned match.
Yeah.
Of course it can't.
So how
Smiling
did he
Diamond Dave.
cheat? How did he cheat? Ty didn't cheat. I got pinned 1, 2, 3. How did Ty cheat? Like I said, Nate won he might have won the war, but Ty won the battle. He's still your champion.
Ben just posted in the chat. Y'all should put Pat Juliana down next show. She's going to hurt Kavina. It might be a good idea, Ben.
Well, if
I ain't scared of none of them pink britches.
Well, you don't want to. We don't want you to pull a knife on somebody. You know, I already had to get on you once for touching Caden.
You gonna mess with a bulldog? Don't touch a cage if you don't want to get bit.
Well, Caden wasn't bothering you. You went over there to him.
Oh, Lord, that's a hell of a threat. I mean,
let's talk about real quick what's on the screen here. Speaking of Caden Pierre, he's going to be in action on July 3rd. He's going to team up with Ella Envy in a mixed tag match against Johnny Ryder and Casey Fox. Now, if you guys remember back at Spring Jam, Casey Fox and Ella Envy and the lady from Georgia, I cannot remember her name, saved my life, had a triple threat match. Them girls threw down. That was unlike anything I have seen. We've had the PGWA girls up many, many times over the years. And sometimes they have decent matches. And then sometimes, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Sometimes they're stinkers.
But not talent like this that we had.
Oh, Lord, man. Casey Fox and Ella Envy have punched somebody in the face, buddy. They do not care. You know, they got nice smiles and everything and, you know, look pretty in their gimmicks and their gear and everything. But I'm telling you, man, these two girls come to fight. And I am looking forward to this because it is going to be a Pier 6 brawl on July 3rd.
And I don't believe July 3rd is going to be any different, Matt. Even though it's a mixed tag, it's the only thing I can tell Caden, you might want to watch your P's and Q's because Casey might get a hold of him. Am I right?
She might, although technically it's supposed to be, you know, well, actually not technically, literally by the rules, it's supposed to be girls versus girls, guys versus guys. But we all know, Dave, Reggie Cassidy, anybody, Mackenzie, Ben, you guys know, you've been watching wrestling a long time. That ain't always how it goes down. I mean, sometimes things get mixed up. So it's going to be a wild one. That's for sure. And it's certainly probably going to be very violent. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yes.
Mackenzie also said in the chat, I understand it was an unsanctioned, but you are the one pulling the strings, Smiling Diamond Dave.
How did I pull the strings? I wasn't there.
Well, you did say earlier, though, that you were the deciding vote to make that an unsanctioned match.
That's
I mean,
right.
that's pulling the strings, if you ask me.
Well, that's I might be pulling the strings, but it was a tied vote. My vote was the deciding vote. And
Right.
I chose for it to be unsanctioned. So how am I pulling strings? By casting my vote to the side I wanted it to be. Would I be a fan favorite if I voted to make it a sanctioned match and Ty won? I'd still be pulling the strings. So with some of these hard-headed fans, they need to go back to the hills of West Virginia where they come from. You're never going to win. If their guy don't come out on top, everybody's going to be wrong but them. So.
Right. Oh, just so you guys know, the voice, the AIWF play-by-play, the voice of the Gay Lakes Fiddlers Convention, Bobby Dalton, sent me a message on Facebook Messenger just now. Says, I tried getting on Zoom and it wouldn't let me in and even sent comments. So we might need to direct Bobby to a Google how to use Zoom page. It would have been great to have him on. But quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time for this week. We'll have more news and updates and everything for you next week. I thank you so much. We had more fan participation this week than we have in weeks past. So Mackenzie, Michelle, Juliana, Ben, all you guys, thank you for joining us. You're more than welcome to come back next week. It's great having you a part of the conversation. And so for everybody else, I guess I'm just gonna do like I always do at this point in the show and do my best Bob Caudle impersonation and tell you that's all for this week, wrestling fans. And until next time, so long for now.
See you now.